Hi, it's me, Tim LaFave, and I'm here in my studio today to go over some advanced chord theory, try to break down how you can make some chords on a 3-string cigar box guitar, and explain to you a little bit more how to play some complicated or jazzy chords. First of all, I've got my guitar tuned to a standard open G tuning with a G in the bass, a D in the middle string, and a G in the high string. So with this 3-stringed instrument, you really have two of the same thing, a high and low G string, and one other tone in there, which is a D string. And the D string would be the fifth note in a chord. Chords are made up of 1, 3, and 5 notes on the scale. The D is the fifth note, so we can make this chord work for us as a G chord because we're repeating the two G's and playing the D. Now, a typical instrument would have all 3 notes or 4 notes or however many notes you can squeeze in. Like 13 chords have a lot more notes in them. So we have to substitute a lot with a 3-string guitar, and we could use tritone chords, substitution chords like jazz players would, to substitute, some chords. But in order for us to understand that, let's just really understand a little bit about a scale. So a G scale, a scale is made up of 2 whole notes, a half note, 3 whole notes, and a half note. So if you count up a fret, you start on a G. The first fret is a half note, the second fret is a whole note. So that would be G, G sharp, A. So that's how the whole note works. So you're going to go 2 whole notes to make a G scale. So it would be G, A, B. That's 2 whole notes. 1 half note is a C. And then you go a whole note. D, E, F, and a half note is G. So you've gone 2 whole notes, a half note, 3 whole notes, and a half note. And you can continue right on up the scale again. So that's a G scale. So having explained the G scale, we can know that a chord is made up of a 1 note, a 3 note, in this case a B, and a 5 note, that's a C. So we could have a nice G chord sounding something like this. Now there are multiple ways we can make G chords. Of course, the open phrasing is a G chord. That's also a G chord. That's a G chord. And because of the way that the 1, 3, and 5 notes work in a chord and the way they work on the string, you can often play different phrasings of a chord that will work. So I can make a G chord here. I call this the triangle chord shape, or if you were playing a standard guitar, it would be the D chord shape. That makes a nice G chord. We can also play a G chord this way. So I'm playing the low string of the 4th fret, the middle string the 5th fret, and the high string in the 7th fret. That makes a G chord. We can go up here and make a G chord this way. Play the 7th fret on the low string, the 5th fret on the middle string, the 7th fret on the high string. That makes a G chord. Now I kind of just want to break down some jazz chords for you, and as in the Stormy Monday Blues that I played earlier, I'm going to explain a little bit about playing a 9th chord substitution. So I'm going to I'm going to do something like this. This is actually a B minor 7th chord if you played it on the keyboard, but because of trichord substitutions, you can make it work as a 9th chord on a 3-string guitar, and it will sound very 9th chordy. So, you know, I had a little breakdown in Stormy Monday Blues. It went something like this. I'm playing this chord. It's the low string, the low G on the 4th fret, the middle string on the 3rd fret, and the top string on the 2nd fret. And you can have a nice little lead into Stormy Monday Blues by moving it up to the 5th position here. And I'm picking around this chord, adding that note and pulling it off again. Now I'm going to work up to that 5 chord, or the D7th. It makes a nice D7th because of the 1, 3, 5 notes. You could also play it that way, but it's much simpler to play it that way. Now, in Stormy Monday Blues, there's a nice turnaround chord. It's a D diminished chord, and we can make that diminished chord sound like this by playing these 2 notes here. So I'm playing the middle string at the 4th fret and the top string at the 3rd fret. There's also another way to arrive at that sound, and that's to play again the middle string at the 4th fret and the top string at the 7th fret. And that top note, that high note, really finishes it off nicely. So you get that nice that D augmented chord. So Stormy Monday Blues would be in this G minor mode. Now I want to play a C7th because it's just easier than making a C9th sound, and it also substitutes well for the C9th sound. So I can play the C7th by playing the low string at the 3rd fret, the middle string at the 2nd fret, and the top string at the 3rd fret. And anytime you make a chord where you're using the top and bottom strings on the same fret positions, you're just really repeating the same note, only an octave apart. So there are many other ways of phrasing that that will work, but so actually what's making it sound like the 7th is what you're doing on the middle string here. And you go back to that 9th, raise it up a step, and then you lower it and move it through these fret positions. And if you want to top it off, you can go to a G chord up here to get that higher note. And what I'm playing is bottom string 7th fret, top string 7th fret, middle string 5th fret. And then I'm moving back into that C7th position. And I'm comping. That's comping. And I move back to that G9th. Now, to play an A minor chord, this is in fact an A minor chord. It uses all the same notes that you would use to make an A minor chord, using it an A, an E, and a C. But you're going to bar it here. So that's an A minor chord. You move it up to a B minor chord. Move it up to a C sharp minor chord. You can move that minor chord around, you know, all up and down the keyboard. So I would be going. And I would bring it down to that B flat minor chord, and then back to A minor again. And I'm going to go to use this finger for a D7th. That is again the low string on the 2nd fret, top string on the 2nd fret, middle string open. Now I can move that whole position